right, joining me today on the inaugural episode of the Impact Catalyst is Dru Rabin. Welcome, sir.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. A quick note, the Impact is a new section that'll be out on the Catalyst next week, and it's a whole new section all about nonprofits. And at the top of that section will be the Impact Catalyst show. TBD on the format for that, but we've got some important information. We're doing some good work, so kind of jumping in early and doing an edition of the show with Dru. And we're here today to talk about the Jobs Catalyst program and the first sort of expression of that, which was delivering a couple of hundred meals to some folks in St. Pete. So, Dru, tell us how that went.
Yeah, well, first, I got to say I'm wearing my favorite St. Pete shirt for the inaugural show. So it's a lucky one. So hopefully this will bring us some luck. What we got out there and did was awesome. It really was. It was this great example of showing how you can develop community through building a community. And so, really thanks to, St. Catalyst, to your effort, to the job board, we were able to quickly put together a fleet of food trucks. Right? Small business owners who have staff that are out of work right now. These events have been canceled because of social distancing. They're just not working the same way. So the program through y'all really allowed us to pull them together, mobilize them. Yeah, that's awesome. There's a picture of two of our trucks, and I got a bunch of thank yous to dole out. But really, we were able to get together, create a supply chain, get some food donated and put together for us. And again, you all coordinated a lot of that. You can see our social distancing there. And we got it out into the communities. Let me start with the thank yous, just so I don't forget that. So you saw Radius Church in there. That's Blake and Amanda Clark. They're pastors there. They got that PB&J truck that everybody loves. It was out at Localtopia. I want to mention Keep St. Pete Local and Olga Boff, because she builds community all year long, right? So when something like this, like a crisis occurs, she's able to help us activate and pull together these food trucks. The two trucks you saw in the pictures before, that's, and actually, let me just say there's Steve Westfall and St. Pete Restaurant Group, and they put the food together, prepared it, and got it out for us. But those two trucks you saw, that's Twisted Indian and Smoothie Operator, which I know people are going to recognize because they are staples of some of the best of St. Pete's food trucks. And we also had food from Karma Cafe and Eatery. Also just want to mention a mutual friend of yours and mine who I know you had on, Jennifer Hall. And so I say all this because not only do I want to recognize and say thank you, but I want to take this opportunity to talk about the two takeaways. And one of those is about knowing your neighbors and about community, right? And in a day and age where we need technology, we still need people like you, like Olga, like Jen, who can say, yes, like I know the people that can come together around something that's out of the box, and we can literally get it rolling. And then if you permit me just one more thing, because this is one of the main reasons I did this, was because I said, having worked with schools, with groups that work with kids, having consulted with agencies and organizations in the area that are looking at affordable housing, homelessness, mental health, the food is so important. And in entrepreneurship, there's this thing, effectuation. I don't know if you've heard of it, but bird in hand is one of the big principles. And it's just this idea that you look around and you say, like, what do I have? What can I do? And I know so many people out there, Joe, right now are feeling like they're isolated and somehow they've lost their mojo, like they can't do something, right? And I just wanted to show that from my home, with people that I had never worked with before, that we were able to quickly come together in 5 days and get hundreds of meals out because we just looked at what was in our refrigerator, figuratively, right?
Yeah. That's just the beginning. Emily Sokash, who is the CEO of the St. Petersburg Foundation, which runs the Jobs Catalyst board, she introduced me to a really great term called the constellation model. And the idea is that we have all these stars that already exist in our universe, and we just need to organize them into these great and beautiful constellations to serve specific needs. And the idea behind the Jobs Catalyst board is a great example of that, where we're taking folks who've been displaced or out of work because of the coronavirus crisis, nonprofits on the other end have increased needs or decreased staff. And we have this fund that we've built in our building, and we need more help with that, where we can get value and for both sides of that equation, and put people to work who need the work, doing good work for our community to serve through these nonprofits. And so, in this constellation was Matt Spence at Feeding Tampa Bay, who has dropped the first $20,000 matching opportunity for people who donate to the Crisis Response Fund through the St. Petersburg Foundation. And then Steve Westfall, who was introduced to me I know Steve well, but through Matt. And he then brought the food and the labor, and he brought his part and became a really bright star in this constellation. Then, of course, you mentioned Jen Hall, who introduced me to you, Dru, and you became a big star in this constellation. And then you brought the food truck operators and the food preppers, which are being paid for by the Jobs Catalyst program.
Yeah.
And they became
thank you.
population. So it's exactly what you said. It's organizing people who are ready to be innovative, who want to get back or driven to do that, which is most of the people in the St. Pete community, really, because that's the kind of community that we are.
It is, and I goof a little bit about the shirt, but at the same time, it's like I relocated here from Washington D.C. and there had done some government affairs and community organizations. Spent a lot of time on the Hill, and I'm gonna tell you, this is a very, very special place. Having lived other places and in large cities, Philadelphia, D.C., there is something special here. And a quote that I heard recently was that you got to know your neighbors, not just in time of celebration, but you stand by them and with them in times of struggle too. And, as we all hit a reset button, I just really feel that underlies that's at the heart of what you're doing with the job board. I do.
And I want to dig into that a little bit. The jobs board is, we're the first iteration of it, or the first pod of work that we're doing this is around food. But our goal is to get jobs across the board, and mostly work from home jobs, because that's what's needed now. So whether it be calling seniors who are isolated to check-in care calls, whether it be helping nonprofits with everything from graphic design to writing to accounting to coordinating, there's all sorts of different opportunities available. And I'll jump back over here to my screen. The job board can be found at stpete.foundation/jobs. And this gives you an example. And I want to also give a big thank you to Social Venture Partners and so St. Petersburg Group, and then MBA and Associates, Spider Business Associates, who are running our whole PEO operation so that we can get all these people in mass signed up and employed, and check all the boxes and make sure we got it all set up right. But then as you start to go down the board here, you can see we have graphic designer, food truck operator, food prep, which is where Dru is plugged in. We've got some stuff with Philip Benjamin Tower, Feeding Tampa Bay, so on and so forth. And our goal is to keep adding jobs all the time. So we encourage you to go to stpete.foundation/jobs and check out the job board and apply. And you'll notice up there in the top right, of course, is the donate button. And these funds are going to, again, get double value, both on the supporting the folks who have been affected in their jobs, and then also the community at large.
Yeah, and Joe, and so I know it's a job board. I want to say it's the neighborhood job board in the way that I was talking about it, because it's like
it's an opportunity connector, really.
That's it. What people have access to is the idea that St. Pete Cattle's, these are known organizations, known commodities that are shown on there. And, the world feels so big, but we also feel so small when we feel, that we're being, kept into our homes and such. I want to keep, underscoring the idea that there's power in that. And so I think what you're doing with the job board and keeping it community based is huge. And people shouldn't miss that. That's really one of the benefits of using the job board as opposed to other resources out there.
Sure. So the plan is to continue giving out the meals throughout next week. I know we'll have Steve Westfall on soon. You guys are in. So if people are interested in getting in front of some of these meals who are hungry, do you have can you talk about where you're going to be located next week in distributing the meals?
Yeah, I can. And in fact, so, we're back at it again tomorrow. We're expanding, and that's the plan. I'll talk just near term, because like so many things with the current situation with the virus and the crisis, things are day by day. Tomorrow we are going to go to a third location. So we'll be out in Wheelman, And in addition, we'll be back at the locations we were, which was Queen Dennis Park. And then we were also adjacent to Midtown Academy. And I want to thank those organizations too, associated with those locations, for helping to share and get the word out, because that's what we're doing. We're relying on community organizations or churches right in those neighborhoods to help make the neighborhoods in the congregations aware.
And about what time do you anticipate being around that area?
Yeah, we should be out there by 4:30. We'll have meals we can serve. We're going to expand then into next week and get ourselves plugged in with a broader effort that's being coordinated in Pinellas County. Again, one of those things where you can, I'm going to dole out thank yous. I'm dole out Julie over at Foundation Healthy
Julie
St.
Rocco.
Pete. Yeah, yeah, thank you. Looking forward to working with an organization that's spearheading the effort for the county now. And that's the idea, right? That it's like, if groups that are doing things like we're doing and can be coordinated, and we can be collaborative, then we're that much stronger. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited.
And one ask that we have is, other than to donate, is if you do find yourself by one of the food trucks, the food is going to be prepackaged for quick distribution. Please stay 10 feet apart from the people in front of you in line. Respect the line if there's a line, but if the crowds get to be beyond a safe, without the social distancing, the trucks will need to move on to another place. So just please, if you're there, keep your distance from everybody else so everybody can stay safe.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, thank you. And we have our protocols we put in place are aligned with CDC guidance. That's one of the nice things about the food truck, is that we can maintain roughly a 6-foot separation from the counter where the food is placed for pickup. No problems with people on Wednesday. They were wonderful. Lots of thank yous. Being respectful about other people's space. We have signage at the trucks that direct people to keep that social distancing, to wait to be called to the counter, so that we can, our operators, our staff can, separate themselves and move back. And so, I think everybody, it seems like, we're all trying to do our best with it.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you, Dru. Thanks for getting the ball rolling. And, there's more to come of this, and we'll check in again soon and keep on dishing out that food.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.